know what metrics you need in order to measure someone's success in their role? Because if you don't, you better find out. Because gone are the ways our butts and seats equals productivity. Effort does not mean results. And if you don't know what KPIs or key performance indicators your team needs to hit, or the individuals in your team needs to hit, then you're lost. So make sure if you don't know what the answer is to what metrics people need to hit, you better go out and find them. When you are in a remote setting, it's super important to lean away from micromanagement and lean into macromanagement. And when you are a new manager or a new remote or hybrid manager, micromanagement is one of those reflexes that you want to lean into, because the old way, you could actually see if people are working. In the new way, you can't. So you're actually not sure what is being done. Now, in the previous chapter, we talked about some of the different ways that you can measure success and making sure that you're measuring results versus effort, and making sure that you're setting clear goals and expectations and people have accountability, and making sure there's transparency so you as a manager can actually see at any given time what those metrics look like and how they're tracking towards those success metrics. But we need to go above and beyond that. And if you feel like you are leaning into micromanagement, often our tendency is to ask, what is this person doing wrong? And I invite you to flip that question. Before you ask what they're doing wrong, ask yourself how you can be a better manager. Get to know each of your individual team members and understand the individual tasks that they're doing within their job, what they're specifically good at, and what they like. Because you really want to try to align those two things, because you're going to have the most productivity when those people are engaged in those tasks. And understanding this also helps to figure out what people aren't necessarily great at, or things that they don't like. And this allows for opportunities to invest in professional development. Google did a study a while back that the most effective teams are not the ones that have the highest amount of skills that fit together like a perfect puzzle piece. It are the teams that exhibit the highest amount of psychological safety. And that ultimately allows the best ideas to come to the table, because it means that anybody can have a bad idea and they know there's no fear of getting shamed. And that allows lots of different ideas to be riffed upon so that the best ideas can surface. And that's ultimately your job as a manager, is to be able to facilitate that. For example, with Hubstaff, you can actually allocate tasks to individual members of your team. And as you've allocated those tasks, you can see how much time it takes for each individual to complete those tasks. And as we talked about in a previous lesson, it's really important to be able to match the skills and strengths and interests of individuals to the tasks that are aligned. Because using a tool like this, you can see where there's inefficiencies and where there are efficiencies. So you can move people and tasks around to making sure you're having that nice, efficient fit. And another great thing, because you're tracking people's velocity and time in these types of tools, is you can see how much it's costing per task within a specific project. And that allows you to keep your projects on scope and on budget. And because all this stuff is being tracked through one system, it also helps with getting your people paid on a weekly basis without having to invest a lot of time in administrative costs of trying to get people paid. It doesn't matter whether you're in the office or working remotely, any manager needs to learn how to manage up, and they need to be able to coach their team how to manage up. And what I mean by managing up is regardless of what position we're in, we need help. We're all trying to grow and invest in our own professional development. And the people who are below us need to be our guide and our signposts. I also recommend you reassess all of the standard ongoing recurring meetings that you have and ask yourself, why are we still having them? Are they achieving the same goals that we initially started when we assigned those meetings to people? Because oftentimes ongoing recurring meetings don't necessarily need to happen, especially once you start to get your groove going. So I would look at your calendar and assess all of the ongoing meetings, make sure that you understand the goals from those meetings, and making sure that you're still accomplishing those goals. And if not, consider removing them.